Okay, my turn on the left hook, palms down or palms facing you. So after I get done with this video on this subject, I'm not arguing with anybody, I'm done. I don't train fighters anymore, and you'll have to see which makes sense on this subject. There's a million videos out there on it. So the first gym I ever walked into to help teach boxing, the head trainer, I didn't last very long. He goes, "No, you can't teach the left hook palms down." So I picked my bag up, got in my car, drove home, started in the hell garage. So yeah, I'm done after this. So you're in for a treat today. You're gonna learn this from Tommy Elder through me. Okay, Tommy Elder was a top trainer at the Newman's Gym, San Francisco, 60s, 70s, 80s. I think Newman's Gym went out of business in 94, financial reasons. Tommy fought pro 54, 55, 56, lightweight out of Cincinnati, Ohio. No amateur fights, had a pro record of 18 wins, 6 losses, I believe it was. He used to tell me on the job training, and that's a pretty good record for no amateurs. He told me they took him to Texas to see a different style of fighting, a different look, the tough Mexicans down there. And sure enough, I took a scrapbook home over the weekend, and it had a lot of info on Texas when he fought there. Stablemate of Willie Pep. Stablemate's a couple notches higher than a sparring partner. Why did he only fight 3 years as a pro? He was in the Army. He was on the bottom bunk sleeping. A drunk soldier stepped off the top bunk. The heel of his combat boot with all the weight went in Tommy's eye, put his eye out. That was the end of his pro career. We're early 70s now. George Foreman, right before he fought for the title against Joe Frazier, I believe it was 73. Dick Sadler hands him off to Tommy at Newman's Gym and says, "Tommy, I'll pay you 30 minutes to work with George on body work." Tommy was really good at that. You know how you throw this, I call it a 5-punch? Well, you had to step every time you threw it, whether it be punch mitts, heavy bags, so you had to boom, boom, and then throw it. And there's reasons for that, which we won't get into right now. So as Tommy told the story, yeah, Dick brought George in. I worked with him 30 minutes. I got paid $200. No, I'd be lying if I said 200. It was 150. So this is where you're getting your info from. Pretty good, huh? Before we get into it, these guys back in the day knew how to protect their hands. Tommy, lightweight and 54, he could have been fighting in 6-ounce gloves. They didn't have thumbless gloves. They had to protect their hands. They had to fight to make some money, maybe twice a month, maybe once a month. I think Harry Greb had 52 fights in 1 year. So I just thought I'd throw that out there, and now we'll get into it. So the first time I hooked up with Tommy, I'm on punch mitts the first minute. I've been throwing my left hook, palms facing me, in my garage for 3 years. What would I do without a garage? I certainly didn't park a car in it. But if you've never been taught, if you take anybody off the street and have them throw left hooks on a heavy bag, 10 to 1, it's going to be palms facing you until somebody in the know teaches you. So he stops me. I couldn't do that. So point 1 of Tommy's. He goes, you turn it over. And then he goes, as you're turning it over, you can get a cut on impact if you don't knock the guy out. All right, point 1. Point 2. As you turn it over, keeps everything in line so you won't have a hand injury, knuckle injury, thumb injury, wrist injury. He went on to say this flat part of the fist is more of a solid, stable impact than if you turn it vertical where it's skinnier, and you might have to adjust it as it's coming in with that wrist to get the knuckles. How many times I could go on and on taking photos or seeing photos off of fights, videos off of fights, where palms facing you, the fighter's messing up, hitting on the knuckles, the palms. How many times?
Hard-hitting action for 10 rounds.
How many times, if he turns it over, have you seen a screw up there? Like Tommy said, you're not going to screw up doing it this way.
What it mean? Yeah, what it mean? I'm outside, pop out game with the team. What it mean?
That alone, would seem to me like you would learn to turn the hook over. That alone, but that's just me. You guys figure this one out yourselves. Okay, that was point 2. Number 3. He says it gets the shoulder involved, you get more power. I made 3 more mistakes that Saturday when I hooked up with Tommy of palms facing me. Never again. He corrected me. And believe me, if you didn't do it his way, he wasn't going to work with you. This is old school, people. It wasn't 4 days later, I was hitting the punch mitt so hard, popping it with turning it over. He actually took his glove off and hurt his hand and said, "Damn, you hit hard." I've never seen anyone else, he'd do that to anyone else. Okay, that's 3. 4, no, I didn't get this from Freddie Roach.
Palm facing the floor, elbow up, following through. I see a lot of guys throwing left hook right like this, not coming across with their elbow. And they don't get the follow through. So you have to have that follow through, okay? Because you're punching through your target and not at your target. So it's 1, 2, 3. Left hook here, eye still on target right there. If a good hook misses, the elbow lands, okay? I'm not saying be a dirty fighter or anything like that, but it's a tendency of a hook is to follow through with the elbow.
The follow through, the elbow can get contact. Tommy said he can get a cut. Tommy was into cuts. You don't think if your opponent knows how to turn it over and follow through with the elbow, he's not doing it to you?
Back taking this abuse right now.
Come on, people, this isn't pickleball. It makes sense, because as I see people throw it, palms facing you, that elbow's low riding. It's low riding. You turn it over, I can see the difference. Okay, those are 4 points. Now we're going to get into the gnat's ass, like I said in a couple videos before. So I'm fine if my guys just turn the hook over, you know. No, that wasn't good enough for Tommy. Everything, explosion off the leg, your body rotation, your hip rotation, right on impact, right at the last minute this had to pop like that. Just like you jab, right hand. You turn these over, you can get cuts with those too. So it wasn't just that. I'm fine, like I said, if my guys do that. Here's the way you had to do it with Tommy. Now this is muscle memory, people. No, I'm not putting gloves on and showing you on the heavy bag. I just had left shoulder replacement last November. And I'm not going to show off on the heavy bag making a point and screw my shoulder up. So this is all you're going to get right here. So this is muscle memory from a 68-year-old man doing this right now. So everything, you get it? So that's the way I had to throw it. It had to pop at the end. Okay, throwing the left hook like this is the way I would show a student when they're ready for a left hook. I'd have my punch mid here and I'd just show them, just turn it over, turn it over. So as you can see, I'm not cocking the gun, so to speak. Your left hook comes from your front leg. You transfer the weight. You're down like this, come through. That's fine, that's perfect. A right hand comes at you. That's fine, but it's telegraphing. You cock the body, get more rotation, you explode off of that left leg, you bend it down more, cocking the gun. This one's comes from the front leg still. And it's plenty hard. What I'm saying is, if I had a heavy bag in front of me and demonstrating this, I'd probably be offset a little bit on the heavy bag, demonstrating this. So in other words, on your opponent, you would have to use your feet to get in position to throw it without telegraphing it. That's all I'm saying. Just like a right hand, you want to get around the guy's jab, you're right in front of him, maybe you'll step here, get around his jab. If it's a heavy bag right in front of me, then I'd probably cock the gun. So in other words, get in position to throw it, and then you don't have to telegraph so much. I think that's about it. But I mean, you're learning from a guy who was a stablemate of Willie Pep back in the day. They knew how to protect those hands and wrists, and 6-ounce gloves, and not thumbless, blah, blah. So there you have it. I'm not arguing with anybody on here. That's the left hook. The whole point of this, before I go, it's good to turn that foot in, your front foot in. There's been plenty of knockouts where they're not turning the foot in. But if you miss your target, say the guy ducks under and you don't turn, because it transfers the weight really nice to your back leg, and of course then you can come back with the two. So if you miss the target without that foot turning in, I'm serious. You throw you're off balance then. And if he ducks under and you're off balance, you miss that hook, then you're set up for his next punch. So yeah, I'd practice that. All right, that's all I got. Thanks for watching.